think we have to go, you know, take the elevator and stuff. Hopefully they know where they're going.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, Mitch, you want to put us up a box so we can come in right here?
Yes, I can do that. No problem.
Lock closets are great.
And cookies.
Yes, Mitch, you are supply number 1.
Glad I won.
You're all going, we don't have cookies.
Well, next thing I'll be looking for is mage food.
That's all many. I can't help that.
And I'm trying to figure out who's here and who's not, so I know who to summon to us.
Raven, do you need a summon?
I just summoned her. I
Yeah,
just
he got me.
summoned her.
He got me.
Got it one for Chucky coming in. Draft, you still need one?
I have draft.
There's
We're gonna have Paige.
Better late than never.
Is Paige coming? Did you?
She just logged in,
Oh, okay.
or turned her computer on, so.
Alright.
She's got BattleNet open, that's for sure.
Well, we have to kill trash anyway. And we got.
Hang on a second. Are we sure we got Draft? Because I'm not seeing him here.
He is close.
He's here.
Oh, there he is.
He's the nice blue
He's
kitty
hiding.
cat. I'm gonna exactly say hiding. He's a sparkly blue kitty cat.
Don't back out into the hallway we just came from. Big guys out there.
Destroy it all! Leave no evidence for these mortals to find! I'm out of range.
Pokey Page is logging in.
Are attempting to acquire sepulchre access
Hello.
sites. Guardian,
Yeah, I just went and bought a new headset today, so.
Yay!
So I was like, yay, microphone works.
Try to interrupt the scryer, the tall one.
I need to get closer.
Mitch, can we get another closet, please?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll need a rundown.
Everybody here for now. Oh, Paige is coming, right?
Yeah.
Cat, you have to summons me.
This is the first time for me on this fight.
Okay. Yeah, so this one, basically a single phase fight, or you could think of it as a repeating two-phase fight. But the deal is, the boss has sort of an energy bar, charge bar, or whatever it is, and when that counts down to 0, he does a major AoE, and he keeps casting it, and it does 100% more damage every time he casts it. Unless we pull him next to one of these cores. There's 3 cores on the fight area. So if we pull him in there, then it starts charging him back up and he stops doing that ability. So we can do that 3 times. So basically we can count down 4 times. On the 4th time there's no more core to hit, and that's the end of the fight. You know, however long we can hang on. So we haven't killed this guy yet. We're very close. Absolute DPS race. And of course you got to stay alive as well. So in addition to that ability, so we keep him outside of the core that prevents that AoE from happening for the first 2 instances of it, because that extends the duration of the fight. And so we're going to stack in raid buffs for that. We're going to stack in anti-magic zone from the DKs, and we'll also have we can probably pop darkness on like the first time in. I forget what the cooldown is, but just as long as it's up for the tail end of the fight.
Okay, I was gonna say it's got a 3-minute cooldown, but should be up because I'm getting 2 bouts of metamorphosis for fight. So when the DPs want to save the shell, I can do it on the first round.
Yeah. So pop it on the first one. It'll definitely be back for the execute. And then we've got his regular abilities to deal with. So the one that is pretty much going to one-shot you is Disintegrate. So there's this giant beam with white edges that he puts down on the ground. He'll rotate and aim it at somebody, and you just have to strafe out of that right away. If it hits you, it will stun you, and it will also put a huge dot on you. It's survivable if you have an immunity or a significant damage reduction, but by far best not to get hit by it. If you don't get blasted with healing or use an immunity, you'll probably die from it. And then there are also a set of 3 bombs that get put out on people fairly frequently. So there's a big ring around everybody with a bomb. Move to get the ring off of people, you know, just like every other one of these AoE abilities, and move to get out of it if somebody else is on you. And we're having the raid fairly close to behind the boss, and people with bombs just move out of it and come back in. And really the only tricky part with the bomb is when we are in the circle around the core, on each of the cores, we will get bombs once during that, and we need to make sure we are close to the boss, basically underneath the boss. And the 3 people with the bombs, when we're in the circle for the core, need to move out. One kind of goes left, one goes right, one goes straight out, but they have to be in the circle too, including when the bombs pop, because if you go outside, you're going to get killed. So that's the only tricky part about the bombs, really. And then the only other thing happening in the fight, there's this little sentry guy that floats around over our heads. He's got a little void zone on the ground underneath him. Doesn't do a bunch of damage, but it silences you when you're in it. So you want to try to line up to avoid that. And other than that, it's just a race. It's just making sure you cycle your cooldowns as effectively as possible for max DPS. So we got 4 healers lined up for start, so we'll do that. I'm not sure if we're going to get Ed or not when he's done with what he's doing now, which could change our lineup a little bit if we do. But for now, we'll go with this.
Rage buff.
So we have enough flasks that you can drink one and take a second. Okay, everybody's ready. Putting up timer.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Defend ciphers. Central materialized.
First bombs. Beam now.
Stay away from lights.
That's the beam. Bombs, sentry.
Use a defensive. Taunt the boss.
Bombs.
AoE is incoming.
Underneath the purple.
AoE is incoming. AoE
Step
is
in.
incoming.
Stay underneath them. Be close.
Link established. The Guardian will be empowered.
Bombs to the other side, inside the circle. And you gotta step out of this, sorry I didn't mention that, step out of the swirly before it blows up, and then we repeat the same thing at the next one.
Stay away from
Bombs,
lights.
beam.
Use a defensive.
Oh yeah, also don't stand too close to the tanks, the brown swirly, you don't want to be in that. Bombs.
Stay away from lights.
Beam. Oh yeah, and I forgot the heroes, so we'll do it at the end. Which is not ideal. Bombs. Bombs. Get ready to get underneath them.
Stay away from lights.
Watch the beam.
AoE
Alright, stack
is
up.
incoming.
Want to be inside the purple.
AoE is incoming.
After the second pop, we duck into the big circle. Alright, stay right underneath them.
Established. The Guardian will be empowered.
Bombs across.
Charge
And out.
meltdown in progress.
Bombs and
Stay
beam.
away from light.
Bombs again.
Use a defensive.
Bombs. That timer was way off.
Stay
Beam.
away from light.
Bombs. Bombs. Get ready to duck underneath them.
Stay away from
Watch
light.
the beam. Alright, purging
AoE
starting.
is incoming. AoE is incoming.
One more hit out here. Head in.
AoE is incoming.
Be right under him.
Established. The Guardian will be empowered.
Bombs other side.
Charge
Run.
complete.
Out of the
Meltdown in
explosion.
progress.
Alright.
Stay away from
Beam.
light.
Careful.
Hero.
Popping hero.
Use a defensive. Use a defensive. Stay away from light.
Beam. That was
Stay
last
away from
bombs.
light.
There's last beam.
AoE is
Get
incoming.
underneath the circle.
AoE
Pop
is incoming.
darkness. Second AMZ.
AoE is incoming. AoE is incoming.
Yeah, I think we popped one a little early there.
AoE
We weren't
is
that
incoming.
close anyway. But now we've seen the fight.
AoE is incoming.
Don't release.
What happened at the
AoE
end that
is
caused us to
incoming.
wipe?
This is his ability that stops when we move him into the core,
AoE
but there are
is
no
incoming.
cores left at the end of the fight. So we have to kill him before he does more than a couple of those.
Sectors defended. Returning to dormancy.
Then when you hit your numbers lock instead of your darkness,
If we put up another summoning portal, please, when you get a chance, Cat.
I have a really stupid question. Is he doing less damage in the beginning than he is at the end, or is it just the purging protocol is the same no matter what?
It's the same no matter what. It's just that if he casts it more times, it does more damage. Right? It puts a debuff on you every time it hits you, which causes it to do 100% more. So
Right, okay,
like
that
the
was
first
my
one hits for
question.
1, the second one hits for 2, etc. And so we take the first one and the second one before we pull them into the core. But at the end with no cores, then we take the third one hits for 3, fourth one hits for 4, and that's why we're gonna die. Right, so if it was 10k a pop by the time the fourth hit comes in, you're taking 40k, etc.
Did we get a summon on it?
We did. And that means that draft can go DPS. Which lines us up to kill this guy.
Just know you guys have me for 7 more minutes.
So you're saying we have to kill him on this pull?
If I want him dead, yes.
Minnie, who do you want to have my soul smell? Because I got lots of them for it.
Risen. Actually, no. Paige.
I'd say
Paige has the priest.
I have the Spirit of
it
Redemption.
back up to, I'd say probably put it on either McGruth, Tic Tac, or Risen. But Tic Tac can pop people up too, although so can our TKs.
Might I suggest that it gets put on draft, because since he's not healing it and he's DPS, he's not having to worry about getting the heal off and bringing somebody up.
But if we Soulstone, I mean, that's only if he goes down that the Soulstone would take effect on him, but I know what you mean.
Okay. Yeah.
You tell me who, and they get it.
So Tic Tac has the pod, so why don't we put it on Risen? Yeah, it's not, but it may, well, hopefully you don't get one shot on this one.
Got Risen has it.
Alright.
Hey, Tally.
What?
This time around, get your mongoose spikes more than any other button.
Alright, so this time we are going to hero one pull. And you want to line up a pot with that for max DPS. Okay, putting up timer.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Within ciphers. Central to
Bombs. Beam.
Stay away from light.
Bombs.
Use a defensive.
Get close.
AoE is incoming.
Step under the bubble.
AoE is incoming.
Alright. Love you. Stay tight.
Now step inside, underneath them.
AoE is incoming.
Link established. The Guardian will be empowered.
Bombs.
Charge
Run.
depleted. Meltdown in progress.
Stay
Beam.
away from light.
Yes, I know. I'm doing it.
illumination initiated.
Use a defensive.
Thanks, Draft.
Bombs.
Stay
Beam.
away from lights.
Bombs. Get ready to get underneath him here.
AoE
There it is, the purge.
AoE is incoming.
Step inside.
AoE is incoming.
Link established. The Guardian will be empowered.
Bombs across.
Charge
Run.
depleted.
Out.
Meltdown in progress.
Bombs and beams right now.
Stay away from lights. Use a
Sentries
defense.
coming across. Nope.
Stay away from
Team.
lights.
Get close to him now.
AoE is incoming.
Purge.
AoE is incoming.
Inside.
AoE is incoming.
Link established. The Guardian will be empowered.
Across.
Charge
Run.
depleted. Meltdown in progress.
Beam.
Stay away from lights.
Just make sure you're not in front of him.
Use a defensive.
Beam.
Stay away from lights.
Purging's
Stay
about
away
to
from
start.
lights.
Beam.
AoE is incoming.
Get into the circle.
AoE is incoming.
All the healer cooldowns
AoE
now.
is incoming. AoE is incoming.
It's going to happen, guys. Good job.
AoE is incoming.
Get him, get him. Yes!
Finally! Yay!
And so that's, yeah,
Resin of the Dead.
542. You gotta kill him before 542. Although, actually your tanks, I think your tanks can stretch it out another 10-15 seconds after that, but
What else is the
your DPS can't. Nice job, everybody.
I fear we may be too late.
So, if we make Tali go to bed, then we kill a boss.
I have to log anyway, because
So, I know
I
what we're
asked
gonna do
Mom
next
if I
time we're
could-
stuck. We just send you to bed and then we kill it.
Okay.
hey, if need be, you guys get stuck on a boss, I'll still have this lockout for like a week.
I think a middle schooler can do this better than I can, Jeff.
Yeah, but I'm only in 7th grade.
Middle school!
Yeah, well, the school I go to is from 6th grade to 12th grade.
So I think we're going to Fate Scribe, huh? Fate Scribe Rocalo.
Yes, yes, we are.
Night, Tully.
Now,
I
guys,
didn't like the
Good
sound
week.
of that.
Nighttime. Oh, this is gonna be a fun fight.
Oh, God.
Well, that fight was pretty tough, so the next one's got to be easier.
Bah.
No.
Wow.
Believe it or not, KT is easier than what we're about to go to.
I didn't like that.
Go up the stairs.
Up the stairs.
I'm out of range.
What did you get?
Man, that epic. Zeph.
Okay.
You got some good stuff. That's an epic, man.
What are you talking about?
Look at your loot.
The green you just looted.
Oh.
Okay, see that feeding door? And through core gas fashion, it's going to disappear a lot of time to fight and then pop back up.
No, I thought, surely, gosh, she's got to be joking.
You should know by now.
Well, it was like, I saw the piece that Tic Tac just got. I thought maybe he just got it mixed up.
Nope.
Looks like if we interrupt the feed on the thing, maybe it can't heal. You can only do it on the second one, though. Yeah.
I need to target something first.
There he is.
I need a target.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of,
Looks cool, but it's a pain.
Right, why don't we watch a video? I think that makes sense.
I was gonna say, what was that one fight in that one raid that where it had the rotating floor and garbage and oh god, it brings back bad memories.
Oh, well, the rotating floor part isn't that bad, is what you have to do with it that makes it a pain, especially in phase 3.
Yep.
So you can watch your guided preference. If you don't have one, I'll put the ready check pull on here, and actually I'll put it in Discord.
Yeah, a link in Discord needs.
That is in the videos boss fight guides channel at the top of Dungeon Raid channels.
Wait. We're pulling. What's up? It's Jimfo from Ready Check Pull, and this is our official boss guide for Fate Scribe Ricalo on Normal and Heroic. This fight has 2 alternating phases. Phase 1, where you're fighting the Fate Scribe himself, and Phase 2, where you fight some ads while solving a unique kind of puzzle. Phase 2 happens when you get the boss to 70 and 40% health, so you have to do it twice, and then the final Phase 1 has a puzzle as well. With the added difficulty and larger amount of health, we recommend saving Bloodlust for the final 40% of the fight. On pull, keep the boss towards the middle of the room while everyone stays on one side of the room. This positioning helps to deal with the 3 main mechanics of the phase. The first mechanic is the circles that occasionally go on a few random players. These players take a heavy dot
To
for a
answer
few
your
seconds
question,
and then
yes,
hit
I'm
any other
dominant.
players within their circle for a ton of
Okay,
damage.
thanks.
This means that they need to move quickly to the edge of the room to put the circles in a good place. On Heroic, the
Now, have
circles
you
leave an
done
echo
this
that
fight,
will
Trek?
explode in the same spot
I
that
think
they
we're all watching
exploded in
the
on the
videos,
set
aren't we?
before. So moving them
Yeah,
to
and I
the
can
edge
hear
of the
the thing
room
it's
becomes
saying.
even more important. The second mechanic is the giant blast that comes from the edges of the room. These blasts can happen in a couple different patterns, and they go all the way through the room despite what the telegraph looks like. So you really have to know where they're spawning and move to a safe spot quickly. You might be able to survive getting hit by one blast, but they also apply a debuff that increases the damage you would take from the next set of blasts. And the third mechanic involves the tanks. The current tank occasionally gets a debuff that puts this huge circle on them. It explodes after a few seconds, doing a huge amount of damage to the raid, but it gets reduced the further away the tank is. So the tank with the debuff needs to quickly run away from the raid to the opposite side of the room, and the other tank needs to quickly taunt the boss to keep it in place. But the debuff also spawns an ad that fixates the tank, increases the tank's damage taken by a lot, and basically wipes the raid if it reaches the tank or dies too slowly. So the raid needs to slow and kill this ad while the tank sort of runs in a circle around the boss, keeping the ad in cleave range. When this ad dies, it spawns a few other ads that need to be tanked, interrupted, and cleaved down. And there's a smaller fourth mechanic of the phase that's only for the tanks. Whenever the boss switches targets, it spams a magic damage cast at that target a few times, so the tanks should be ready to use a defensive cooldown whenever they taunt swap. When the boss gets to 70 or 40% health, he runs to the middle of the room, becomes basically immune to damage, and starts phase 2, the puzzle phase. This is where things get a little complicated, but the short story is the boss rotates the rings on the floor out of place, and you have to move them back into place before the time limit or else you wipe, and there's also ads. Now for the longer version. The 6 big rings in the floor start spinning and everyone gets pushed to the edge of the room. When each ring stops spinning, it reveals a rune that looks like this, and a spot on the ring where the rune needs to go, which looks like this. And your raid needs to move all of those runes into their correct spot within 40 seconds or else you wipe. The only way to move a rune is by having players stand on the rune itself, but the number of players on it determines which direction the rune will go. An odd number of players moves the rune clockwise, and an even number of players moves it counterclockwise. If you're facing the middle of the room, that means odds go left and evens go right. It does not speed things up to have more players in the rune, so just use 1 player for clockwise and 2 players for counterclockwise. Depending on the placement of the runes, it's going to make a lot more sense to go left or right, so everyone needs to understand what's going on and either help move the runes in the right direction or stay out of the way of the players that already have them going in the right direction. Once a rune is in the right place, it locks in and can't be moved anymore, which results in a ring that is safe for people to stand on. And once all the rings have been locked in, phase 2 ends and the boss becomes active again. On normal, you can make this whole process easier by assigning 2 players to each ring before pulling, and then have them take care of the same ring every time. But unfortunately, that does not work on Heroic, because on Heroic, you can't move the runes unless you get Runic Affinity, a debuff that goes out on a certain amount of random players each phase. For Heroic, there really isn't a clean way to assign things before pulling, but we recommend assigning half of your raid to focus on taking care of the 3 inner rings, while the other half focuses on the 3 outer rings. You can honestly do this however you want, splitting odds and even groups, or melee and ranged, for example, but it just helps to spread people out and make it so that they don't have to look at every single ring, which speeds things up. So that's the complicated part of the phase. But there's also 2 big ads that spawn at the beginning of the phase that need to be tanked, interrupted, and killed. And there are a ton of these gray orbs slowly moving around the room that you have to dodge or else they do a ton of damage and slow you. After phase 2 at 40% health, the final phase 1 starts and has an extra mechanic. And what do you know, it's more spinning rings that you have to put back into place. Fortunately, less of the rings are involved and the heroic debuff isn't there, but you only have 30 seconds to get these runes into the right place, and other phase 1 mechanics are happening at the same time.
Really?
So things get very hectic. Ideally, your ranged DPS should be the ones moving these runes so that the melee can keep hitting the boss, but everyone needs to keep an eye out because if you're too slow, you wipe. Again, 40% is definitely where you want to bloodlust. Alright, so quick recap. In phase 1, run the circles on random players out to the edges of the room and stay out of other players' circles. Dodge the beams from the edges of the room. When the current tank gets a big circle around them, the off tank should taunt swap while the debuff tank runs away from the raid and explodes. Then that debuff tank needs to stay away from the ad that spawns and fixates them while the raid slows and cleaves the ad down. When the ad dies, interrupt and kill the other little ads that spawn from it. Tanks, use a defensive cooldown when taunt swapping. And save Bloodlust for the final phase 1 where you also have phase 2 puzzles to solve. In Phase 2, move each of the runes on the ground back into place by having an odd number of players stand on the rune to move it clockwise, or an even number of players to move it counterclockwise. You only have 40 seconds to get them all done, or else you wipe. Tank, interrupt, and kill the 2 big ads that spawn. Dodge the gray orbs that are floating around. On Heroic, only randomly debuffed players can interact with the runes to move them, so pre-assignments mostly go out the window. And that's pretty much it. You can find our written version of this guide on Icy Veins linked below. Thanks again to all of our supporters on Patreon for making this guide possible. Like, subscribe, and join our Discord to keep up with everything.
Yellow.
Hey,
Yellow.
feeling better?
Yes, but I have another issue that's going to prevent me from reading tonight. I forgot that I have to take my landlord to court tomorrow, so I gotta get up super early in the morning. I forgot about that because I wasn't feeling well on Friday. I'm not about that at all. Yeah, my landlord refuses to fix cabinets that are falling off the wall, damage from a leak, unsafe wires, so I gotta go take him to stupid court tomorrow. Ugh. And it's like early as crap in the morning, too.
Well, that sucks. Well, you'll be glad to know we got that evil one down.
Oh, that's good. I wish I was there. Missed that one. I just wasn't feeling on Friday. Oh my. Yeah. I'm feeling much better now. But now there's another issue.
Right.
But hey, it's a walk in a park for me with the court thing, because the city here I live in is very tenant friendly. I mean, we got proof out the butt of everything, plus a city inspection and that, but it's just a pain having to go do that.
Right.
I'd rather, raid tonight until late at night, sleep in instead of deal with crap like that. But I mean, it should be a in and out thing. It's just waiting to be heard in the courts the longest part.
Yes.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah, but it's gonna be a real lot of fun for my landlord.
All right, who is has everybody seen the video so we can start laying out this draft for this fight?
Is anybody still watching the video?
But you all have a great raid.
Well, hopefully we'll see you Friday.
Yeah, thanks. Good luck, Phantom.
I'll definitely be on tomorrow for the mythic runs and stuff. So it was like 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
So I'll definitely be able to do that, and I'm going to start doing Tartarus and all that this week to get my stuff up. So yeah, I'll definitely, as far as I know, there should be no issues for me showing up Friday at all, because I got nothing else planned. So I'll see you guys tomorrow then.
All right.
Well, good luck.
Thanks. Have a good one. Stay safe.
All right, so I think everybody's probably through the video. So there was a lot of stuff going on in this. The only part that I'm not clear on, maybe somebody that's seen it can say, something's a little different about the second puzzle phase at 40%.
Well, no, it's 40, 70, and then the last phase, it's only at 30 seconds. The first two phases, you have 45 seconds.
So do we do the puzzle? We only do the puzzle at 70 and 40, though, correct?
No, you do it.
You do it a third time, and when is that?
It's the first 2 times somebody actually has to do it. The game marks them. The last one, anybody can do it.
And it said, what I read was, it said in phase 3 it could just happen, and then you have 30 seconds, but anybody can do it, not just the marked players.
Okay, Seth, you watched the heroic strat, that doesn't apply on this.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the marking stuff.
In phase 3, yes, during the final push to kill the boss, our ring teams will have to be paying attention because the rings will just start spinning. In my opinion, it's like once every 15 seconds they'll be going off, and you have a shorter time to get the ring to its mark. But go for it, Trey.
Okay, so the deal is then, after 40%, a ring may just wake up and start spinning, and we have to puzzle it down, right?
Okay, so we're gonna fight the boss, and then we're gonna have the first ring phase, and our ring teams are gonna go out while we take care of 2 ads.
Right.
Then if the rings are done correctly and the ads are down, the boss comes back. We beat on the boss some more. Yes, there are other mechanics I'm leaving out for simplicity. And then we're going to have a second ring phase. And we'll have 2 more ads, and the ring teams go out. And as long as they get the rings in place in time, the boss comes back. And from that point, that's phase 3. That's when we'll hero. Well, assuming Truckee wants it done that way, but that's when you normally hero, and the rings, like I said, it's about every 10-15 seconds they'll start spinning. There's not as many of them that go off at that point, but the teams that you designate will need to be ready to go out there, and you have less time to get the ring to its spot at that point.
All right, so in final phase, 1 or more rings may wake up, and it happens at roughly 10-15 second intervals.
I would say with this size, in the last phase, 2 or 3 rings are going to wake up.
Okay.
And some of the miscellaneous things he left out is he's going to shoot out a black area in front and in back of him, so you guys got to get the hell out of it.
Yeah, the giant beams look like they're going to be a pain.
Normally, hate to do this to you, Nick and Truckee, but the tanks normally reposition the boss out of the beam and the raid follows.
And then I saw there was the one about the main tank will get the dark circle around it, and that tank has to get the heck away from the raid.
Yeah, for the rest of us, we basically just don't want to be in the ring around the tank, so it's much like the Painsmith fight, right? Where when the tank jumps out, there's that big ring around them. We don't want to be in that.
Yeah,
the difference here is we have to kill the ad.
Kill the ad, because the tank, after he gets the debuff on him, that tank is going to have his damage increased, and if the ad hits the tank, it's over.
Right, so the tank will have to kite that ad, and the rest of us need to kill the ad with priority. You know, if the ad gets kited past the boss, we can cleave, great, but we have to kill the ad, and it can be slowed, so we have to make sure we're doing that too.
Yeah, I'll concuss it.
The other thing is the healers need to be aware that when their tank swap occurs, the damage on the tank is increased. The tank that is taunting has increased magical damage for 1 shot.
Yeah, the guide I watched was suggesting tank cooldowns at that point.
Yeah.
However, you can sustain that anyway.
So I also thought about throwing a demon gate up so that if somebody gets the white circles and they need to get out to the outside, at least there'll be one from the center to the outside.
That probably won't be needed.
Okay, but I won't do it.
And Truckee?
Yeah.
Most guilds just have the tank eat the ad, get hit by it, and then heal through it.
Does it pop?
It pops, it does a little bit of raid-wide damage, so the healers will have to be on their toes, but they're even using that strat in heroics. Hardly anybody goes out and actually kills the ad.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
How does the fight end? Is there a berserk or a soft enrage or something?
To be honest, I can't answer that.
Okay.
Normally, it's just a DPS race to get him down before you get killed by rings.
Okay, so basically you screw up enough rings and you lose your people, and that's kind of it.
You screw up one ring and we're dead. It's a wipe.
Okay. So the suggestion in the video I watched was to assign specific people to rings so that they know which ring to look for. And so if you're moving the ring to the left as you're facing the boss, you need 1. Was that right? No, you need. It was, okay. Yeah, so one
left, 2 right.
1 for clockwise and 2 for counterclockwise, 1 left, 2 right. So we'll assign 2 people to each ring, and it'll be your job to do that ring, and only 1 person has to get on it if you're going to go left. And then other people, we just have to watch. If a ring's not being handled, you can chip in, but we don't want to overload the runes, obviously, because they need to go the correct direction.
On the rings, see the runes that you're seeing now? One of them's gonna light up and glow. And then somewhere around the ring, you'll have a marker that looks like 2 arrows, 1 on either side of it. That's where you gotta move it to. So just as soon as one person gets on, it goes left. If we need it to go right, then we need to have both people get on it at the same time, and you can't just ride the ring. You have to move with it and walk it over to
that's
where
interesting.
it needs to go.
I thought it slid you along.
No, if you start the ring and start moving it one direction, and then a second person gets on, it's not going to switch directions. So if you've got it moving and you need somebody else on it with you, you need to get off, and then both people need to get on it together.
Okay, yeah, so if you want to take it right, if the path is obviously close to the right, then yeah, wait for your buddy to show up before you climb on it.
And if you assign...
Are you okay now?
Group this size, I mean, personally...
Is your computer okay now?
I wouldn't assign 2 people 4. I would assign 4 people to run the rings, and then 2 as backups. And the backups stay on the ads and DPS until called for. And there's a good chance that only 3 will light up, so you already have 1 backup out there.
So you don't have to move all the rings on the 70 and 40% phases?
No, only certain rings.
Oh, okay. All right. So the whole thing, it's only certain rings. Well,
I
that
would
makes it
expect
easier.
for the first 2 phases, we're only going to have 3 or 4 rings light up.
All right. Yeah, then we can probably focus on having ranged doing that. Although for inner rings, melee DPS can go as well.
Now, one more thing about the rings. This outer ring, the biggest one, moves at a faster rate, and the closer you get into the center, the slower they go.
That makes sense. So it takes the same amount of time to move a certain number of degrees around the circle for each ring. All right. So let's say for the outside 4 rings, then let's have probably so for the outer 2, let's have Robbie and Thor watch those.
Okay.
And then the next couple in, we'll have me and Shay watch those. And then for the inner rings, Barris and Zeph can watch those. And then we'll have Kat and Raven and Draft ready to jump on a rune if we need a second person.
Yeah, absolutely.
So remember, if we're running him to the right, you know, if the target is to the right of where it is in the ring where the rune is, we're going to need a second person to jump on there. It doesn't have to be the specifically assigned people, but
And can you
just
do
to
me a
watch out.
favor? Since I'm melee, can I be moved to outer ring so I don't have to run as far?
So is the boss usually held at the outer edge then?
No, what happens is the rings spin on the ads, and the ads are held at the outer ring, or where it's stable. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I see, right, because you're getting two ads, so you're fighting them out here. Right, and okay, when the rings happen to at 70 and 40, we all get pushed out. When the rings fire up in the final phase, do we get pushed out as well?
No.
Okay. Alright, so we'll I guess we want to flip that around then. So that puts Robbie and Thor on the inner rings, then on the 70-40 transitions, and Zeph and Varus on the outer rings. So you are going to have to think clockwise, counterclockwise, then, because if we're facing out, it's different from facing in. But you will also know when you step on a rune if you're spinning it the wrong way. At which point, step off and wait for the second person to join you. But if you're about halfway around, then just keep going with one.
Minnie, I have an idea. Why not put a marker on where the side that we're talking, like we're facing the boss right now, right? Put the marker, and people associate the right or left from that marker only.
It's how you're facing the boss right here.
Right. So you put a mark down right where we're standing, and then we'll always have the right direction.
It doesn't matter because one person, it only goes the same direction, and two people, it goes the other direction. You really don't need a marker. Those people need to figure out what's the closest way to get it, or fastest way to get it to where they need to go, and either one or two will get on it.
So left and right would be a misnomer. I would think counterclockwise and clockwise would be more accurate no matter where at on the board you're at.
Yep.
Yeah, it's better to think about it like counterclockwise and clockwise. I think it's gonna take a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah, don't get frustrated. These rings are gonna wipe us a lot. But
yeah, we're just gonna have to see it.
Once you get the rings down, once, as Minnie just said, you've seen it, then this fight gets a lot easier.
And I guess, well, the tanks will eat the ad. We'll try.
I was going to ask if you wanted to kill the ad or eat it.
No, we'll eat it.
So so the debuff ad, then during the regular phase, we're gonna have it just hit the tank and pop. So you're just gonna hang out over there and let it hit you.
Let it hit me. Yeah. Or
would a rune tap help absorb the damage on that?
No, we'll be all right. Yeah, we'll either use rune tap or use one of our runes.
All right.
Well, that's just saying rune tap is relatively quick cooldown.
Trying to see. Yeah, as usual, there's like 40 abilities, so.
Oh, and there's one more little catch to the rings. You should have saw it in the video. But there'll be little balls of doom all over the place that you have to avoid while you're moving.
Oh yes, the dodgy ward balls.
Yeah, right. So that's the
and just to make it
ring
fair,
spinning phases.
You'll also have to dodge them while you're killing the ads, because they will go right through the area you're fighting.
So if we let those ads hit, we're gonna get hit by an ability that does ticks of 7.5k shadow every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. So everybody in the raid will take 37,500 over 10 seconds from taking an ad.
The healers, sorry healers, but you'll have to be on your toes and just keep the raid alive.
So we want to try to be in healing circles at that point, because we're going to need it to get topped off.
We should all be nice, tight on the boss or the ad, or yeah, the boss.
All right, let's give this a shot.
Really have no sir.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Three, two, one.
Watch your step.
Beams, watch out. Alright, it's gonna go right across, so you gotta get close to one of these. Right, because it shoots all the way across.
Ouch.
So yeah, pick the edge of where one of them is and get nice and tight. Now spread these out, just off to the side. And I assume that stuff's all gonna line up at some point. Alright, so here's the tank debuff. They're gonna run away from the raid. Other tank taunts, gets hit a bit. There's a big pop when it hits, but it's less when we're far away. And then an ad's gonna come up and he's gonna hit the tank. We want to be in healing circle now, because we're all gonna take dot damage. Yeah, Spirit Link's especially good for that one. Alright, rings out. Beams in 4 seconds.
3, 2,
Again with the beam,
1.
get next to the edge of one in such a way that when it goes straight across,
Taunt the boss.
it's not going to hit
Use
you.
a defensive.
So yeah, you got to come out about maybe 10 yards and then get next to the edge of one. Get away from the tank hit.
Kill the axe.
Get in the healing circle. Beams in 3, move away from the boss a bit because we got to get to a safe spot.
Watch your step.
Here come the beams. Okay. That was weird. That was a completely different pattern on that one.
Things run.
Tank hit again. Other tank taunts.
3, 2, 1.
Beams coming up.
Watch your step. Run.
This beside the beam. There wasn't in the beam. Beside.
Yeah, so when the beams come out, you want to be out far enough, and then next to a beam, you basically have to see where they're all originating from, because you only see the first half as they're heading towards the boss, and then kind of, yeah, that's what you see. But they're going to go exactly the same across the other side of the room.
3, 2,
Draft
1.
tossed me a combat res. Should I take it or stay here?
Nope, hang on to it.
Something special is coming.
So here's the runes. You guys can spin a rune here, see what it's like. Tanks have to grab those ads, of course.
Remember, you gotta walk with the room.
Yeah, you gotta push it right over to the target. The target's, the rune's the little guy and the target's the big guy in the ring.
So the middle one, it looks like we would stand on it. One person would run it left.
So Zeph, you want to go to that other, yeah.
Apparently I thought it was supposed to be in the...
Yeah, you're standing on the target. So the kind of the crane that it goes into is the target, and then the little guy with the beam going up above it is the rune.
Gotcha.
And enemy body is on a
Okay, and I just lost a combat res.
I've got a reincarnate. Relax.
Yeah, timed out.
Yeah, I still got the soul stone, but I think the reincarnate probably be better.
Oh, the soul stone's better because we can just redo that, right? Reincarnate's on a longer timer.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'll use soul stone then.
And that's what.
Yeah, once they reset.
Don't get the rings.
Okay, so that was like as long as the rank phase can go, and then it blows up.
Trucky and Nate, for next pull, instead of putting him dead center in the rings, can you work him towards the outer edge, and that'll help with the beams.
Okay, so just
Is that like halfway out from the center, or all the way out to the off the rings?
I'd put him on the outer ring to this edge on the outer ring, because most of the rest of the fight after we get through the first set of rings. This is where we're going to be fighting anyways.
So bring him right where his feast is.
That's a good spot, yeah.
Guys, check your
Actually,
flask.
I would you take them either right or left. You see that, or on either side we got the 3 skulls faces.
Yeah, okay, so put him on one of those
Those
skulls. Okay.
Those light up when the beam's out, so that gives you an idea where the beam is. So that'll help move and give us an idea as to which way to go.
Don't take your next flask yet. We're gonna take a break.
Okay, so you want him like over here.
Are the beams always from those skulls?
Yes.
That's what I'm told. To be honest, my back never. I'm always got
That makes
my back to
sense.
'em and can never see them.
So that means there are set places that are always safe from the beams, then.
Yeah, and by having them on the outer edge, you have less of a chance to have 2 beams intersecting on you.
So
you can move right or left and not get hit by the
if,
second.
if it's always from the skulls, then here next to the skulls would be bad. But right here would be fine.
No, Minnie.
No, you want to put him here so this way we can move right or left to get out of the beam.
Okay.
Is it always from one of the skulls or 2 of the skulls, but not all 3?
Right. Well, if you look around the room, Minnie, you're going to see 3 sets of skulls. And I'm not sure if the beams come out of just the skulls, like where the door is when the fight's up. There's a big white cloudy or black cloudy wall up, and I'm pretty sure beams can come through there too. So just assume that beams are going to come from any direction, but when you're on the edge and you've got these skulls to go by, then if the middle one lights up, we can pull the boss over here, or we can pull it to the other direction and we can get out of it easier. When you've got beamed or out in the middle, you could get hit by 1 or 2 beams.
Yeah, you definitely had to come out of the middle to dodge the beams. Okay, so we'll try that and see how that works for us. But first, let's take a break. So I'm going to put up a 5-minute break now.
Yeah, Cator, I don't think they're just from the skulls either, but the skulls give us a good idea.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shay, can you hear me? What was all that complaining you were doing about being no good at DPS? Oh, according to my meter on that last fight, you were ahead of Robbie.
Seeing if we're back.
Also, according to my meter, I show you ahead of Robbie on the kill for Guardians.
Yeah, the beams are definitely coming out of, well, I'm looking at fairly old raid footage, but the beams are definitely coming out of other spots.
Yeah, but if you look around the room, look at the skulls and then where they're aimed at, normally it's a patch that doesn't have skulls. So looking directly across from the door, that's where the 3 skulls are. And then over this way, I look directly across, it's aimed right in the area between those 2 sets of skulls. So if we can see, and I believe the half a beam thing, the blackness, is coming from the skulls and goes directly across the room.
Yeah, it always goes directly across the room, so it looks like there's 2 patterns. And the one pattern I picked out pretty quickly, and the other one I did not, but I saw it in the video. So the one pattern seems to be that there are 3 narrower beams that come out, and those may come out from skulls, or maybe not really sure. But so you've got 3, and you can only see the half that is coming from the wall and hitting the boss there. But it's going to extend all the way across. So that leaves smaller gaps in between beams, but the beams themselves are not as big. And then the other pattern is it kind of starts on a double wide beam, so it's pretty large, a significantly larger pie slice. And since that stuff all goes through the boss, it makes an equally large pie slice on the other side of the room. So the gaps are larger, but you may have to run farther to get out of them. So that appears to be the 2 patterns of beams. And we're just going to have to get used to dodging those. So if you look on the other side and you see this huge wedge of black beam, you need to move such that you're not across from it. You know, you want to have it more like at your left or your right. And being out on the edge will help at least miss the convergence in the middle. You back yet, Paige? She's not yet.
I did want to say good job, healers. It looked like you guys had no problems healing us through the extra damage after eating the ad.
Well, like Minnie said, my soul link is really helpful when those come up, but I can only blow it every 3 minutes.
And like I said, good job, healers, every one of you.
Yep, everybody's doing their job. We're gonna have fun. Once Paige gets back.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Oh, the ones that are lit up on the, I was wondering why those are lit also. It could be. Those could be the preview of the next batch. Like you have any chance of seeing that over there and picking out where it is in your ring. If there were symbols we were used to, maybe. Okay, so everybody's here, so we're going to give it another shot. We're going to pull the boss out. We're going to put him kind of in front of the... We're going to try... So Vera suggested pulling him in front of one of the skulls over here. So we'll pull him, yeah, kind of up here. And then we'll see how the beams line up with that. So, and that, if we're over here on this side, you know, that gives the tank a pretty obvious place to go with the tank debuff. And we have a pretty obvious place to be stacked in for healing. Alright, so go ahead and take that next flask, oils up, and we'll put up a timer.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm out of range.
3, 2,
Beams.
Watch your step.
This makes it hard to see the beams, doesn't it? That's not that bad. Yeah, so for that pattern, it's very straightforward. The other pattern is about twice as wide, maybe even 3 when it hits the wall. This will make it a little harder to spread the circles, but that's fine. Actually, that didn't look too bad.
One. Run.
Alright, we're about to have the tank pop hit us, be in healing circles. Gotta spread out the bombs here. Beams are coming up in about 4 seconds.
3, 2,
Watch
1.
for the beams.
Watch your step.
We can move.
Use a defensive. Kill the axe.
Ad's gonna pop. Yeah, under the circle. Yeah, that's great.
3, 2,
Beams.
1.
Watch your step.
Bombs 2, same time. Yeah, we're good. Next to this beam right here is safe. That's the narrow pattern. So if you're next to one of the narrow beams, that's always safe. As long as you're not in the middle.
Run.
3, 2, 1.
Right, in the healing circles, tank's gonna get hit here.
Watch your step.
Beams are coming. Yeah, right next to this beam. We're safe, although it's a wide pattern because we're right next to it. Yeah, that's actually good. I like that. As long as you're safe, as long as you're near the beam. And then, all right, we got our first rings. Shoot the ad until we can get in on the rings.
Interrupt.
All right, now I'm trying to handle the rings.
We need 2 of us.
Closest.
Interrupt 2.
Door's out of my healing range.
I'm running for him.
Alright, we got all the rings. We're just killing ads. Once they get locked in, they're good. Once they hit their target. Is there one that didn't? Oh yeah, there's one that's still getting moved. It just goes real slow.
Interrupt 3.
Alright, they're all locked in. And that's how you tell you get the blue stuff coming out. Boss is back, killing Ed. Good. Hey, phase 2. Congrats, everybody.
It's too far away.
3,
Yeah,
2,
just play a little Frogger
1.
here. Beam's coming up too. Careful. Yeah, get near that beam. Good. Bombs.
Okay, Seth, I'm gonna let you run next one unless we need both on.
Taunt the boss.
Yeah, no problem.
Use a defensive. Kill the ads.
Alright, be in the healing. Inside Ed, your magic zone helps you too. Bombs, next beams are in about 4 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Watch your step.
Alright, next beams. Move near beam.
Run out.
Tank debuff. Into the healing circles for the pops.
Run.
And that last fight really taught everybody about anti-magic zone.
3, 2, 1.
Beams coming up here. Bombs, and out bombs. Get near a beam. We're getting close to the push for the second puzzle phase.
Taunt the boss. Use a defensive.
3, 2.
Beams in a second or two.
Kill the ad step.
They're gonna have a tank hit. Move, move, move. Ouch. Yeah, that was the wide beam. Yeah, you can't. So was this dark area the? No, that's just a wall. Yeah, we needed to move further around. It might be good putting up some marks just for
Something special is coming.
for a call. Anyway, we got enough people to play with the runes here, so go ahead and play with the runes a little bit.
Interrupt 1.
Out of range.
Interrupt the ads to get them to the tanks if you can.
Yep, you got it going the right direction there.
So the one all the way on the inside looks like could use 2 people, but
Yeah, both remaining ones need 2 people.
so if you got to go counterclockwise, 2 people will do it.
I was dead.
Come on, Draft, stay in it with me.
You guys just got to dodge the orbs too while you do it. Remember, 2 people max. 1 person for clockwise, 2 people for counterclockwise.
Interrupt 4.
Don't release a half-breed card.
I got the soul stone still, so hang on to it.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, we'll use it.
I fell rushed over here by the ads and died, and I didn't know what that get me.
Alright, well, I think we have a pretty decent idea of that. So yeah, that's the scary part about the beams is the wide pattern beam. When it's on the other side, it's hard to see where it's going to hit. If it's on our side, it's very easy to see. You just move near it.
Yeah, because that one I didn't see at all.
Yeah,
until
yeah.
It hit me.
Yeah,
I was dead.
if the beams are out and you can't see a thing, that probably means it's the wide pattern on the other side.
Ooh.
Thanks, Ebony.
Of course.
Yeah, me and Draft, we're having some little bit of a
You were getting it down. You just have to walk a little slower with it. I was noticing you were getting out front of it and stuff.
No, I mean, when me and I didn't have any problems with the one I was doing by myself.
Right. But the one you were with Draft, you were getting out in front of it, and that's what was causing part of the issue. You know, it stinks, but those slower ones, you have to crawl along with it. On the outer edge, like you
bad
were
part was
at a faster rate.
Yeah, but the bad part was I was barely touching the button to go forward.
Oh, I know. Like I said, the outer rings spin at a faster rate, so on the inner ring, especially the one you were on, is one of the slowest. That's you were used to the pace that you had just done, so you were just getting ahead of it. I mean, this is the learning part, you know.
Yeah, that's
criticism.
Yeah, range DPS might actually be able to DPS from those ones in there, which is why we adjusted the way we did. But we were dead.
Of course, as I pointed out, if we ever see this on Heroic, you don't assign teams, it assigns who goes out and gets them.
Yeah, you just have to play it by ear.
Well, as I was saying, if everybody had been up, I don't think I'd have been in there doing that one anyway, because like somebody else would have been getting it. So.
No, you got yours, and you would have been back on the boss.
Right, we are good. Timer's going up.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Three, 2, 1.
Beams. Yep, and just be near one of these, one side of this, and it's good. In the healing circles.
Run!
Bombs. Beams in about 4.
3, 2, 1.
Beams.
On the box.
That's the wide one, but right next to it. That makes it easy. Honestly, this is like the same pattern as last time so far.
Kill the ads.
Alright, it's gonna pop. Bombs and beams in a couple seconds
3,
here.
2, 1.
Watch your step.
Beams coming up.
Run out.
Alright, it's popping. Are we pushed?
Something special is coming.
Interrupt one.
Wait for me to get on it with this, get off.
Yeah, I'm off. I'm off.
Interrupt two.
Alright, looks like they're all taken care of. The last one's about to hit. Kill ads. Nice job.
Nice job.
Cleave the ad on the boss. Beams in 2.
2, 1.
Watch your step.
Oh, we're in a good spot. Orbs are just about off the edge. Bombs away.
One.
Alright, tank pop's about to happen. Next bombs.
Three, 2, 1.
Watch your step.
Beams.
Haunt the boss. Use a defensive. Kill the ads.
And healing circles. AMZ.
2, 1.
Bombs, and we're gonna get beams here in a moment. Out of this beam quick. Keep moving the bombs if you can.
Ouch.
Yeah, we had to move them further because we were all going the same way to dodge the beam. Alright, in healing circles.
3, 2, 1.
Run. Watch your step.
Beams coming up. Alright, just got right outside. Getting close to pushing. Alright, we're up for this one. You can shoot him here for a few seconds while he runs in.
Something special is coming.
And switch to the ads.
Interrupt one.
I need helper on second line.
Where are you? Sorry.
Interrupt two.
Okay, got it.
Okay, we're just keep going that way.
Yep.
It's probably gonna explode.
Yeah, keep the people on it. Wait, just one person on it. Just one.
Sorry, Seth. I thought you were down.
No, I was trying to get over to it.
The middle one that I ran to spawned right on
Interrupt
top
four.
of us.
Alright, we got it. Good job.
3, 2, 1.
We got a lot of orbs coming. Just keep dodging them. Beams now. Out of the beam. It's a big one. Move fast. Move fast. Keep moving the bombs. The bombs off. Alright, we're reset here. Orbs are almost off the edge. Gonna pop hero here.
Ring.
Oh, yeah, we got new rings up. I got this one here that's in
Something
2.
special's coming.
I need.
Oh, it looks like we're good on the rings. One person in each.
Nope, somebody
Just one person in. Yep.
Sorry, the rings are confusing for me.
2, 1.
Gonna have to learn.
Watch your step.
Gotta do it.
Beams. Yeah, do not. Yeah, if that's like 90 degrees off you, that's good. Oh, that was
Get all
close
the
to the boss.
Taunt the boss. Use
Yes.
a defensive.
Alright, we're having a tank debuff hitting.
Kill the ads. Something special's coming.
Yeah, just one person in this one here.
I got it. Yep. Don't step on the ring that I'm running on.
It's okay as long as you're not on the rune.
Watch your step.
Beams coming. Small beams, just get right out of it. Bombs. Beams.
I'm running a bomb, so
Something special's coming.
Alright, one person in the outer one, and 2 in the inner one.
come on, get in there with me.
Outer one, just one person. One person in the outer one.
Come with me.
3, 2.
Number 5.
Cat,
you got-
go with Thor.
Beams. No, the outer ring, one person only, outer ring.
I had it right.
No, I was.
Yep.
I got a soul.
Me and Drive had the inner one going.
Yeah, so clockwise just one. Counterclockwise 2.
In this particular one, is the symbol getting put on anybody during
No.
the fight? Then can we mark the ones that are going to the little ruins, so that when somebody says, I need help, somebody can find Thor. Or find Zeph, or whoever.
Have enough time to mark everybody.
Can I make a suggestion, please?
Yeah.
If you make the call for 1 in the inner and 2 in the outer, the people that are running the rings should know where to go. Just go to the inner outer. Too much chatter going on in what's going on. So if the people are down, just say you're down, so this way we know when you go down, so if we have to add somebody else to it, but just if we hear the call go out for 1 inner, 2 outer, or whatever the call was that last time, all of a sudden I heard chatter going from everybody, and you couldn't hear. Thor had to say it 4 times he needed help, and you couldn't hear him because everybody else was talking. So just 1 call, and that's it.
Also, for that third phase, the people that have the bombs, can you work them on the outer side of the room because you're running them straight into the rings, and that's going to kill us while we're trying to move them.
Yeah, that's why on that last set, that's why I'd announced that I had a bomb, because I was running towards the outside.
You could probably overlap the rings as long as you aren't overlapping somebody else, correct?
Yes. Yeah, you just hit people that are within your ring. So yeah, you can just run them enough to get the ring off of people. And yeah, kind of, since we're on the edge, we can't just run 3 out. We kind of have to run 1 towards the middle, but it doesn't have to be middle. But if we run 1 left and 1 right, or 1 clockwise, 1 counterclockwise, whatever you want to call it, from the edge, we still have to move the other bomb enough to not overlap people. So it's 20k shadow damage when they pop to anybody in the circle. So yeah, having 2 on top of you is a bad deal.
Okay, so let me see if I get this straight. So with the rings, there's only 1 person needed on it if it needs to go clockwise.
Yep.
And then there's 2 people that have to run on the ruin if it's got to go counterclockwise.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
What happens?
Correct.
And what happens
Okay.
is if two people are running it and one person runs off, it immediately shifts to go the other way.
Yeah, so you just have to step off of it and let it sit, and then get the two people back in it. So you have to be prepared to sort of intercept it like that if you're a team running it with another person. Once you're on it, it's fine. And the slow ones are, real easy to stay on it. The outer ones that are moving faster are a little harder to stay on with two people.
So it's not like just, okay, one person's on it, hey, I need help, I need to go the other direction, and then the other person runs in and joins in. You have to like both come off of it and then back on it in order.
It looked to me like getting on it, as soon as you had two people on it, it shifted. That's what I thought I was seeing.
Yeah,
No.
so what happened?
Once you have it going in one direction with one person, that person needs to get off, and then both people need to get back on at the same time.
Okay.
Within the same time. And then they both have to walk it the other direction.
Okay.
And one little other piece of advice from what I saw for the healers, for when they have to go to the far side, you guys may have to run out here, but just kind of stay off of the ring area. I could get here and heal people pretty good for both sides.
I was going to ask if a healer was going out to help heal the people on the rings.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
I saw
I
you guys
guess-
start getting low, I ran out.
Yeah, sometimes the people running runes may actually have to go to the other side of the floor if that's where the rune's coming from, or that's where they're taking it.
Especially the inner one.
Yeah, the inner ones, at least they don't have to go that far away. But yeah, if they're doing the outer one and the target or the rune is way on the other side, they may actually wind up farther away from you then. But yeah, you can look at the inner one and see exactly how far away they'll be at max.
Did you see what Draft said too? About when he was running the ring, he had to go right through a beam, and it didn't really bother him.
Yeah,
So-
the narrow beams seem very survivable. You can get hit by one of them. That big beam, though, that can one-shot people.
The other deal with the beams is you get a debuff when you're caught by them, which makes the second one hit half again as hard. That lasts for a minute. So if you take one beam, that's not that bad, but a second beam may kill you.
Or what about the damage from those balls out there if you've taken a beam?
The debuff from the beam allegedly only affects the beam.
Okay. I was gonna say, because out there, that was what I was more concerned with was the balls, because we got hit by two of them out there.
Look, we've only had a few moves on this guy, and we've already gotten him to phase 3. Y'all are doing good. It's
Yeah, that was 12%.
figured out the beams for the most part. We're doing good on the first two phases of locking in. That third phase, locking in those rings, is hectic. So, we're doing real good on this.
I mean,
It's been very high.
we got him down a good amount. I thought we did pretty good.
Yep,
That was on me, I think.
that one was starting to feel like a kill. So
Yeah.
we're close.
Just a little more coordination.
Yep. All right, everybody's ready.
One other thing is the stampeding roar and the wind rush might help when people have the bombs, so they can get those out faster from the group.
I tried putting a wind
and,
rush out to
I
see if
would
it
say
helped.
especially if we get beams and bomb at the same time and we're kind of jammed up, so everybody's got to run from the beam. That's a great time to try to drop either wind rush under the group or pop a stampeding roar, because that's going to be the point where we'll need the most movement from the whole raid.
Okay.
And we said the rings can overlap just as long as you're not in one of the other rings.
Yeah, you can do your standard overlapping all of a circle, but the person that's at the center of the other circle.
Gotcha.
But, like I said, in phase 3, if you can keep as much of your bombs out of the ring area, that would be greatly appreciated.
All right, putting up a timer.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
out of range.
3, 2,
Beams in 1.
Watch your step.
Be pretty near one of these beams. Bombs. Now. Thank you both. In a healing circle. Bombs again.
3, 2, 1.
Watch your step.
Beams. Get near it.
Taunt the boss. Use a defensive.
Thank you both.
Kill the ads.
In the healing. Bombs now. Beams in 2.
Watch your step.
Watch out for beams.
Good turtle. Turtle for the win.
We're pushing the rings pretty soon. We got beams coming up here in a moment.
Run.
Push. The ad's gonna pop here.
Something special.
Try to be in healing. Alright. The rings are active.
Interrupt 1.
Need a second person.
I got you.
Watch out for that ball. There we go.
Interrupt 2.
Hard to dodge in the middle here.
Yeah, we need somebody on the outer edge.
Yep, you have 2 people there. Very good. You got it.
Interrupt 3.
Rings are done. Watch the orbs coming in here. There's a couple coming right at us. There's a chain of them coming right at us. Just keep watching them. About another 8-10 seconds, they're done. Beams coming up here in 2 seconds.
1. Watch your step.
Right next to a beam. A couple more orbs coming in, they're done. Bombs.
Taunt the boss. Use a defensive. Kill the ads.
In the anti-magic zone, healing circles. Bombs.
Three, 2, 1.
Beams.
Watch your step.
It's a big one. Move 90 degrees one way or the other. Watch the tank debuff. Get away from the tank debuff.
Run.
What the hell?
Three, 2.
Alright, it's gonna pop.
Watch your step.
We got beams coming up too. Let's try to get the boss back out to an edge. Bombs coming up now.
1.
Kill the axe.
We're good here. Tank debuff is gonna hit. Yep, it did. Stay in the healing circles. Bombs coming up now. There they are. Alright, we're about to push the next puzzle.
Something special is coming. Interrupt 1.
I need to get closer.
I need 2 right here. No, sorry, just 1. Just 1. I got it.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way on this outer one yet. We want to double it. There we go.
Interrupt 2.
As fast as I can run. Good, rings are done. Very nice.
Interrupt 3.
Orbs are coming for another 10 seconds. Boss is coming back. Finish these ads. We're going to pop hero now.
Watch your step.
Stay near the beam. Near the beam. We're going to move out the bombs as soon as we can safely.
Gotta get the bomb out.
Run. Run.
Rings.
I'm out of range.
Something special is coming.
I need one other person with me here. Oh, sorry.
Speak up, who do you need and where?
That's only one.
Sorry.
We're good.
All right.
Don't touch it.
We're good.
3, 2,
Beams in one. Watch out for beams.
Watch your step.
Move. It's a big beam.
Taunt the boss. Use a defensive.
Alright, tank debuff. You're going to get in the healing circles.
Kill the axe.
We got 2 runes this time.
Something special is coming.
I got inner.
Needs help on the outer.
I'm running a bomb.
I'll join you in a sec. Hey, you got draft.
I need to get closer.
Three, 2,
Beams coming up now.
Watch your step.
Rings are done. Get near a beam. Move from where you are, get near a beam. Alright, we're reset here. Bombs.
Rings.
Something special is coming.
Alright, we're good on the rings. Back to the boss.
Three, 2, 1.
Beams.
Watch your step.
Stay near this beam, good. We're good.
Run.
Tank debuff, be in healing circles.
Run.
Rings
3,
now.
2,
Or
1.
soon. Beams now. Move, big beam. Move fast, fast, fast. Bombs are spread out. If you're low, healthstone if you need it. Alright, we're resetting at the boss.
Taunt the boss. Use a defensive.
Tank debuff. Be in healing circles. The rings are moving.
Kill the axe.
Whoa.
I guess it does have an rage.
Yeah, must be.
I was about to say, what got me?
I'm standing up.
I am my
minutes.
spirit of redemption.
In 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
what
it's
was our-
almost.
Had them at 11%.
Yeah, we were surviving that one. So our 12% wipe was at 912, so that would have been tight. So yeah, we're gonna have to. Now that we figured out the mechanics, we have to figure out how to get more DPS on boss.
Well, my draft said he could go DPS.
The other thing is.
Oh, we were 5ing it. Okay.
Looked like during phase 3 we only had 2 rings to move, so we can keep more people in, only send 3 people out.
Yes, we had one time we had 1, and every other time we've had 2 in the 3rd phase. So yeah, right, yeah, I think that's true. Okay, it's gonna do 1 more. Very good. So yeah, draft, you can go DPS. We got a shot here. So everybody just concentrate. You know, you can use a pot at pull. You can use a pot at heroism at 40%, and that's probably enough to get us over the hump.
Jesus?
Is that like a personal Jesus?
Wow, she just has problems spelling Jeeves, don't she?
Maybe. Jeeves Anonymous?
I like the religious version though. Jesus instead of Jeeves.
I could always date myself and say personal Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but
That's our Shay.
Your own
Don't forget Buddy
personal Jesus. Oh,
Don't
sorry.
forget Buddy Jesus.
Alright, now I got that song in my head.
yeah, sorry.
I'm guessing that's a no on the Jeep, so okay.
Do we have an actual Jeeves with a V? Do we have any engineers? We used to have piles of them.
You see all these hunters and no engineers?
Yeah, at least
that
it's
was the old way.
at least it's the Marilyn Manson version.
Engineering pretty much blows this patch, so finding one is very difficult.
No, not
so-
the fish mode version.
Is anybody close enough to break on this fight, during this fight? Are you less than, say, 12% or so?
No, I'm at 44.
Okay, alright. So if nobody's that close, I think we can hold off on this one. Otherwise, we'd send you out and bring you back. Okay, so yeah, make sure you got your buffs up. Make sure you got Hellstone.
Got a couple pieces of 30, but yeah.
Yeah, you'll be good for this.
Oh, yeah.
Unless we kill you and res you like 4 times, you should be okay.
I'd like to think I'm pretty good at staying out of stuff by now, but you know, you've probably jinxed me now.
Alright, we are good. Putting up... Wait, did I do a ready check? Let's make sure. We're good. Alright, here comes timer.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Three, 2, 1.
Watch your step.
Beams. Move, big beam.
Ooh.
Bombs in 2. Bombs.
One. Run.
Be in healing circles. Bombs.
Three, two,
Beams coming
one.
up now.
Watch your step.
Be near it.
Taunt the boss. Use a defense.
Alright, tank debuff running away.
Kill the ads.
In the circle. We're about to push.
3, 2,
Beams
1.
first though, beams first. Never mind, we skipped it.
Something special is coming.
Alright, rings are up.
Interrupt 1.
Inner circle rings. Right on it.
I need help on the outer ring. Here.
With you.
Ready? Go.
Interrupt 2.
You got it covered?
Yep, it's moving.
Network good. Everybody else DPS.
Alright, we're done with that. Killing this last guy. Make sure we get him down.
Interrupt 3. Three, 2, 1.
Beams.
Watch your step.
Get near a beam, gotta move. Alright, back to the boss. Bomb's coming up right now.
Run.
Get in healing circles. Bombs.
Three, 2, 1.
Beams.
Watch your step.
Get near the beam.
Taunt the boss. Use a defense.
Tank debuff, can run it out now.
Kill
Under the
ads.
circle. Bombs
3, 2,
right now.
1.
Beams very soon. Here come beams. We're luckily close to the edge. Keep running the bombs further away if you can.
Run out.
3, 2, 1.
We're about to push.
Run.
That thing's gonna pop, so stay in the healing circle.
Something special is coming.
Interrupt 1.
I need help on the inner circle. No, yeah, on the inner circle.
That outer one, you want 2 people.
Yeah, I
The
need
draft's
help
coming.
on the outer.
Help on the inner. Help on the inner.
Alright, I'm coming. Trying to dodge balls. Alright, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Everybody else, put those 2, let's get DPSing.
Interrupt 3.
Watch the ball move.
3, 2,
Bunch left to come, heads are down. There's a whole bunch more coming at us. We got beams right now. Get near a beam. Keep moving, get near a beam, try to run the bombs out when you can. As soon as the beams are gone, move the bombs. Watch the orbs. Alright, that's the last orbs passing off the side now.
Taunt the boss.
Alright, popping hero.
Use a defensive.
Whoa. Under the circle.
Kill the ads.
Under the circle for the pop, and then we're going to handle the rings.
Something special is coming.
We need 2 on this outer one.
Yep. Somebody there.
Yep, both of us on it. There we go. Stay on it. Yep, we'll run it right around.
3, 2.
Beams in 1.
Walker step.
We'll just run through it.
Run him.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I think we were too slow on the...
We're too slow in the business.
Yep.
Yeah, Minnie, I didn't know to run through it until it was too late.
That's alright, yeah, it was touch and go.
Hello.
I was gonna say there was no way we were that close to the timer.
Yeah, we were a long way around on that one.
Alright, I gotta head out on this one.
Alright, Ed. Yep. Thanks for sticking around for another one.
Yeah, I'm
goes.
at the same stage. Like, I've got to go, guys. So.
Okay, no problem. We could try one more with 2 people down. We can give it a shot for healing. If people want to stay for another one.
I'm headed out as well.
Other people are gone? Alright, I think that's enough then. We'll call it here.
Anybody want to run a mythic?
Sorry I released, but I'm coming back up there so I can drop an Orbus.
You can get a full guild group, yeah, I'd go.
Well, that's what I had in mind.